I've been awake for like 11 hours and it's not even 4 p.m. yet. But I have a matcha because my matcha station is set up. That's a brown butter raspberry syrup. And I really think the brown butter adds a lot of depth to the syrup. So that's my little matcha. I've not made matcha in forever. I'm recording this video for the second time because I forgot to turn the mic on the first time. So, hi. I'm going to give you a little updates on week 2 of The Artist's Way, as well as the research project that I've been doing on the side. I was able to get myself some new stationery. Uh, new, new stationery. So I'm also going to do a deep dive on that because I think this is an integral part of me wanting to do Artist's Way in the first place. So maybe I'm going to start with the actual content first. Um, so I went through the first chapter. Uh, if you haven't seen the first video, the entire concept is that you need to go on one artist date as well as write morning pages every day. 3 pages is considered writing 3 pages in the morning as soon as you wake up is considered morning pages. If I'm going to be technical, I did not do a single day of morning pages. But if I'm going to be, I did it and I enjoyed my time while I did it, then I did it like 5 days in the morning within the first 4 hours of waking up. If I mean that I did it every day because I was writing in that journal. And I think it's because I created a habit of writing in a journal um, pretty much for like 2 months now. So apart from those two things, it also gives you a list of 10 prompts to write. So I'm going to give you a little dissection of how that went for me in this past week. But before that, I wanted to tell you the chapter went through recovering a sense of safety, and it went through core negative beliefs one has and how to turn them into a positive outlook, or in the book's terms, positive alternatives. So one may think that artists are drunk as a negative belief, but a positive alternative to that would be artists can be sober, which doesn't seem like much, but going through this activity with your own flaws or your own negative beliefs can make you really change the way you look at life. And I don't say this just because of the way the book um, went through it, but more so because a few months ago I did a same activity in a group setting um, with a few people. There are a few excerpts, a few lines that I would like to read out, which may not make sense without the book, without reading the chapter itself, but I think it's still going to have an impact on you, or if you want it to. But your block doesn't want you to see that. Its whole plan of attack is to make you irrationally afraid of some dire outcome you are too embarrassed to even mention. You know rationally that writing or painting shouldn't be put off because of your silly fear, but because it is a silly fear, you don't air it and the block stays intact. If internalized, negativity is the enemy within, what follows is some very effective weaponry. Try it before discarding it out of hand. A few quotes that I really liked and I really believe in from this book include: when you are feeling depreciated, angry, or drained, it is a sign that other people are not open to your energy. To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong. Um, Sorry, mom, if you're seeing this, but my dating app profiles somewhere mentioned that my biggest reason for most of my successes is all the failures I've had, and I've had a lot. So I've also had a lot of um, successes. It's fine. Um, Affirmations help achieve a sense of safety and hope, which is also something I really believe in. And I made a little sheet that I might pop up right here, in yellow, red, and pink in front of my monitor and my screen, which I'm looking right at right now, and wrote all the affirmations this book went through. And they're really great affirmations. I made a few tweaks because I didn't want everything to be about God, but more the universe, because I believe in that more. I believe in a higher power, or a power in general. So I did mention a lot of that instead of God, which is also what week 0 went over, that you don't have to necessarily mean God anytime you talk about um, a sense of energy. Um, so the tasks. Task 1 was to write the 3 morning pages, set up an alarm for an hour and a half before you usually wake up. I did not do that. But by the end of the week, today I woke up at 4:30 a.m. and I was usually waking up at 8. And that's because I want to start creating a 5 a.m. schedule. Um, and I did write morning pages though, every day, pretty much. So that's great. Take yourself on an artist date. My idea of an artist date was buying my journal stuff and setting it up. Journals, if I may add, and also to spend time to create my little syllabus for the thing I was talking about last week. Like officially creating the syllabus. I knew what I wanted to do for a while, but I didn't officially create one. Take yourself on an artist date. We went over that. Time travel. List 3 old enemies of your creative self worth. I did that. I don't want to mention them here. Time travel, select and write out one horror story from your Monster Hall of Fame. I did that as well. And I was like, oh, you know what? This is not really a Monster Hall of Fame anymore. Like, I feel like, yeah, this happened and this doesn't really matter anymore. But it also was taking a little bit of space within me. So it's out. Write a letter to the editor in your defense, mail it to yourself. So it was so it basically means that in the last prompt, whoever you were going to write a story to, similarly write like this person sucks, yada yada yada. 6 is time travel. List 3 old champions of your creative self worth. This was so easy for me to do. I didn't even have to think twice. Like I just knew, like I know who my top 3 people are at all points of time that have helped me grow in the way I have. That's not family. And then suddenly I was like, oh, like this peer that I met last year is also one of them. It might not be as much, but the most recent one is that. And then I was like, okay, let me send him a picture of whatever I wrote because vibes. Then time travel, select and write out one happy piece of encouragement. I wrote a thank you letter to the first person I mentioned, who was also my first mentor and who also passed away 2 years ago. I often talk about him, have him as my little wallpaper with his poem, refer to him, or somewhere within, I'm just like, oh, like somewhere he pushed me or pushes me to do better. So a lot of my writing was about him. Today, my brother also mentioned quantum astrology, where one can live out different. I don't really hear the entire thing, but where one can view different parts of your life in different alternative universes or spaces. So every decision makes you take a different quantum direction. Might not be explaining that the best way because it just popped in my head, but it's fine. And he mentioned how maybe I can explore how my life would have been if Ridhaman was still a part of my life. So that's the mentor Ridhaman. Imaginary lives. If you have 5 other lives to lead, what would you do in each of them? For me, I'm actually going to read it out to you because I think this was kind of great. I had a moment. Uh, this is where I write my morning pages. I'm going to show it to you soon. If I had 5 other lives to live, I'd be a teacher, a barista, an artist or creative person, a chef, and an astrologer. I also wrote, I make myself a part of, I think, oh, weirdly, those are the things I try to be or make myself a part of. I think I'll have fun in this life by having fun in those things. I think that I'm fully doing everything I enjoy, even if it's not like all day, all the time. I do everything that gives me joy, makes me happy. So my imaginary lives are also a part of my this life, which is my current life, and I'm grateful. In working with affirmation and blurts, very often injuries and monsters swim back to us. Add these to your list and they occur to you. I didn't really do all the affirmations, like making my affirmations as the first task told me to do with the morning pages, but I already know what my injuries and monsters within include, and that is my weight. I don't think that's ever going to change. I, I don't think that is something that's going to change right now. It'll take a little bit. It's come a long way from how bad it was, and I have been doing things to make myself feel better about it. So it's fine. Take yourself on an artist walk, the two of you. So I did go on a lot of walks because the every day I walk 35 minutes to and back, and I think that's my artist walk. I'm not going to do any more walks. The check-in basically goes over the same stuff, so I'm not going to go over that. But that was my artist's way. I'm going to continue with week 2. I have not read this week's chapter yet, and I will tonight before I sleep. But now is the time to show you my little journal system. So this is the cloth and paper journal. It's not the journal. This is their vinyl cover. I did not buy their notebooks or their discs because I do not have that much money to be spending on stuff like this. But I found alternatives, which include Midori notebooks that I feel are the perfect sizes. So first notebook is for my morning pages. Second notebook is because I'm a side questy person. It's for all my side quests and everything that comes to my mind that I want to do as a side quest. I usually save TikToks and I never look back at them, so I'm going to use this as that. What my first side quest is the End of the World podcast, which goes over like 10 different ways the world would end. The first one was about Fermi's paradox. My second side quest is I actually kind of want to go over all the 100 college student prompts and all the other industrial prompts by OpenAI that they just released, because I want to test out how that goes, and also the Claude Sonnet 4.5. I want to go over how that's working. I feel like that's also part of my job. I love my job. That's also part of my job, but at the same time, it's something I would do in my free time. This is also why I love my job, because I would do those things in my free time as well, apart from the new things I'm learning. Then the third one is like a little blank notebook where I've decided to draw. I don't draw. I want to draw. So now I will draw. It's basically me having like different, like drawing things that are in front of me. So this was my desk yesterday when I was drawing. It had my laptop, my bottle, lamp, yada yada, that entire setup. A little bit of what I was feeling in the moment, and the song, a little lyrics from the song I was listening to. One of my favorite songs is by Mac Miller. And it goes, I want to get a mansion, a jacuzzi, a theater to watch my movies, couple whips and fancy things. So I went through, I wrote that because I was really feeling it. And also it's a nice way to manifest. And I also got a little banner of the coffee place. But that's not the end of the journal. I have this, which was in this clear pocket. This has a red page tag thing that I really liked, and my friend Ishan Kuala, I know you're watching this, so I got it, and you didn't. But he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they have a red page tag," and it's not the dirty red page tag; it's the nice page tag. So I had to get it, and then this is my little freebie of like transparent stickers to add. Translucent, not transparent, but it says transparent. And then this is like I'm using this as a habit tracker, which is so there are a few habits I want to track. I want to use this above space to track workouts, morning pages, reading, writing, research book, or any of the new agendas I decide to have in my life as a habit. Life will start seeming simpler then. So everything in red, focus. Everything in red is what I'm doing right and everything in black is what I missed. I think I'm doing a great job so far. That is my little everyday traveler's notebook journal. It's not the leather one because I don't like the leather one. I'm here to decorate this because this came like 2 days ago, but I am in love with it. I feel like an influencer sharing my journal setup. It's fine. Then I got the commonplace notebook from Cloth and Paper again. And it comes with this like orange band. I think I mostly bought it for this orange band. And if I tell my mother this, she will send me to Jaggu Bazaar in Calcutta. Uh, so this is like a 365-day notebook of like everyday tasks to do. It comes with a little like clock, I mean a time stamp, such. I'm using most of this for work stuff because I realized I've been writing down things and tasks I want to finish, even though we have a management system. It just feels nicer to write here because I can keep track of it instead of like scrolling through apps. It having this notebook calms my nervous system down more than having the management system. The management system is still great. This is what I need. And this is for my research. And I'm also going to read out what I've written in this notebook because a lot of you asked me. But this notebook is the regular checks notebook with topic, date, and whatever, basic. Also, it comes in olive green ink. I wrote in olive green ink with a fountain pen after like ages. I used to have calligraphy classes where I used to F around with fountain pens. I've just graduated out of college. I feel a void in me. I feel like I don't know very much about very much. It's strange to feel like this, but also simultaneously feel that I do know a lot about a lot. I think this way of thinking came out when I was 16. I've wanted a website and a journal that manages a lot of my side quests in one place since I believe, multifaceted. In here, the entire point is to go through books by authors, find a theme around that literary book, and then write an overarching paper of that theme, the narrative of the book, and maybe even my life. I think it's a great way of being creative and also keeping my mind busy, as well as give it the ability to draw parallels. Before I do begin, I will always have a page explaining what I'm connecting with what theme to draw parallels with, and also a little bit about my side quests. Um, so my first research space is um, this book, Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's fine. In red is a quote. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. As someone who believes in astrology, that's a great quote. So, my first paper for this book is going to be Descent as Trauma, which I will find parallels with Body Keep Score as an analysis point. The second one will be Grief and Ghosts, the ghosts of melancholia, using Freud's mourning and melancholia. Third one would be Shadow and Individuation, which is Shadow's Descent, using Jung. Aeon, my pronunciation might be shit. Maybe I need to surround myself with more people that read or talk about reading or just scroll more with the right pronunciations. No, I will not scroll more. The fourth one and the last one is Language and Healing. Words in the Dark use White and Epstein. Narrative means to therapeutic ends. So here I'm going to use Descent as fragmentation, Ghosts as intrusive memories, and Silence as dissociation. I have these little like I don't know if you can see, like little page markings that I want to make in the book to refer to while I write the papers. But currently, I am in the reading stage of the book. I haven't really read much, but I'm just trying to. I'm going to take my time and enjoy it instead of passively reading and going through it because I have to go through it. My favorite part of this is having this pouch, which also has my mic at all times, which I'm just using right now. But I have a little heart bookmark, uni ball pen for the red page markers, the red and black pen that's like changeable, interchangeable color. I don't know how to explain it. And I got myself a little fountain pen that's olive green that you just saw from Cloth and Paper, and of course, Muji pens. Because how can someone write without a Muji pen, right? This one's my new favorite version of the Muji pen. I feel like such an influencer, man. This is more than a vlog, but I'm also so excited to have these things now, and I've actually been doing more because of these things. I got a pack of like these elastics uh, to bind together my traveler's journal. I've probably done that wrong as well. There's just enough space, I think, to add a little one more notebook, and that other notebook for me is going to be a Sudoku crosswords book because I've gotten obsessed with New York Times games, and I don't want to be on my phone. So that's going to be for when I don't want to be on my phone. And I think it's a great way to spend time with myself. 20 minutes in, I have given you a rant again. I really hope my audio comes this time and I don't have to record again because I'm not going to record this again. Then it's just too bad. I missed out and you missed out. I'm going to post it without the audio because I still got my goals done. I'm so tired. I probably did not look this tired in the morning when I was recording it the first time, but it's okay. This is a video journal. This is not content creation. That's what I tell myself. See you next time when I do week 2 of the Artist's Way. And let me know if you are doing the Artist's Way because I'm kind of interested. I also don't have too many friends that do these things. So it would be nice to have friends that do these things. So see you next week. Bye. See you.